I just want to drive a message home with you guys and send you guys a little motivation about coming from humble beginnings and breaking generational curses. If you don't know anything about my story, I lost my father when I was 17. So after losing my father, that kind of broke away the side of the family that was aligned with where I was trying to get with my life. My dad's side, of the family, even though it was just my dad, I didn't really know too many family members outside of my dad. My dad was that support system for me. My dad was that everything for me. So when I lost that, it allowed me to start building a relationship with my mother that I never had because I grew up with my father. And growing that relationship, it wasn't that my mother was never present. It's just that, she's battling a lot with generational curses and generational trauma and stuff like that she hasn't overcame yet. And because she hasn't overcame those generational curses and those generational traumas, those will get took out on us. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't really have a relationship because it wasn't like that with my dad. So I was never motivated to go stay with my mom. I was never motivated to be around my mom. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to be around that energy. So when my dad passed, it allowed me to start to build a relationship, to get to know my mom and stuff like that. And through us getting to know each other, through the time that we was able to spend together, we clashed a lot because I wasn't at ease with where I was with the love I was receiving from my mother. I expected more, and my body, my soul, my heart knew I needed more. So I demanded that, and we would butt heads because, she never received that, so she doesn't even know how to give that. You know what I'm saying, and a lot of other things. So we're not estranged. Like, we don't talk, we don't do none of that. We don't really have the best relationship right now. But I want to say, like, first and foremost, when you're trying to break a generational curse, and when you're trying to build a different lifestyle for you and your kids, you and your family, or just yourself, the best thing to do is to get yourself out that toxic environment or those toxic situations that will continue to have you relapse in the same cycle. Because the times where I'm most healing and the times where I feel my best are the times where I am away, and I have been away for an extended period of time. And when I do go back, or when I do talk to them, and when I do visit, it's for very short amounts and period of time where I know that I'm not putting myself in a situation to give them responsibility in my life that they once had. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're dealing with family and you're breaking curses and you're doing all these things like that, the main thing is not giving that family the responsibility of the title that they may have. Just because they are your mother, just because they are your father, just because they are your uncle, don't mean that they deserve the responsibility of that title. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody is responsible enough to handle that title and handle it with the right care that everybody needs. So, you can still love them for who they are and not hate them for what they're not. You know what I'm saying? So that's the point in my life where I'm learning right now, is just to, love them for who they are, And I understand that, y'all been through y'all shared amount of traumas and things like that. So I'm not going to judge you. And, it's not to say that she's all bad, My mom has done great things for my life. She stepped, when my dad passed, she was there in a heartbeat, and she stayed with me, you know what I'm saying? So I will forever be grateful for my mother. But, when it comes to the title of being a mother, she hasn't followed through all the way in that sense. So for me, it's not giving her that responsibility. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to family, you have to be able to navigate who deserves that responsibility and who doesn't, because if you don't navigate that responsibility, you'll end up getting hurt, and you'll keep getting hurt, and you'll keep getting hurt, and you'll keep getting hurt. And what the thing for me, and why it affected me so negatively is I just became emotionally numb. After I found out my father passed, on top of the relationship that I had with my mother that wasn't its best. It was sparking up and down. I was so I didn't want to keep getting hurt, so I just turned my emotions off completely. Well, that doesn't serve. Not only does that not serve me well, but that doesn't serve the people in my life well. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have that emotional barriers there where I'm not even able to connect with people. So I'm navigating that right now. It's a lot of things that I can say about healing from a generation of trauma, which probably came back from slavery days. But the best thing that I can say is that's been working for me so far is get yourself out that situation first and foremost. You have to get yourself out that situation, and you have to, in a sense, pull your head above the water. Right now you're underwater. You probably can't breathe. You're in that toxic environment. Just get yourself out of the situation. Do what you want to do for your life. And when you make that move, that's not everybody else's move. That's your move. So that don't mean you take the whole hood with you. That don't mean you let everybody know your every move. Right now, I'm in the middle of Kansas with no family. I'm from Georgia, right outside Atlanta. That's a 15, 16-hour drive. I'm not in reaching distance with none of my family, and I had to take that risk, and I had to do what's best for me because it's my dream and I have to protect it. Not everybody's even going to see your dream, but not only that is, once you start making it, once you start reaching these heights, people want to grab you along and pull you down when you're just trying to go up. So you have to put your head down and you have to just do what's best for you and go up for yourself and put yourself first in your life. Put yourself first in your life. Put your healing first in your life. Stop surrounding yourself with people who reminds you of the trauma that you've been through, who act in the same way that the ones who hurt you act, because that's not going to do nothing but continue that toxic environment, continue that toxic mindset, continue that toxic behavior. Put yourself and surround yourself with people that show you what love truly is, that loves you unconditionally and is going to help heal you and jumpstart that process in healing from all those traumas that you have been through. We've all been through a lot. I know I have, and I know the people that I know, and that's part of this Black community has as well. It's just the hand that we was dealt, but we have to. Now it's time to take a step forward and to start healing ourselves. And the right way to do it is to have these conversations, to face. I know it's a hard ask, but not be afraid to face those emotions. And to know that you're going to be okay. To know that you're not alone in this process, because that was the biggest thing for me, and it still is to this day, is thinking that I'm the only one going through this. And when I talk to people, when I have these type of conversations, I notice that, I'm not the only person who goes through this type of stuff, who's been through this type of traumas. It's a sad thing to hear, but it's a lot of people who actually been through this. So just connecting with people who can share these type of experiences and navigate you through it, surrounding yourself with mentors or just peers would be great for your healing as well. But if you're watching this video, it just shows me that you have an intention of growing. You have an intention of trying to push yourself forward and heal yourself, and you want better for yourself and for your family. I pray that you receive that, and it doesn't take nothing but just that intention itself to start it. Now that you have sowed that seed, everything else will jumpstart. I manifest that in your life, and I pray for you. And I appreciate y'all for tuning in. If this message impacted you in any way, I hope that you can like this, leave a comment, share, or just let me know that I've impacted you, But the views are very important to me. I appreciate everybody who's been viewing. And without further ado, man, peace out. I love y'all.